Bonjour, my name is David DeVere. I'm a wine educator and traveler, and you're watching Savvy Nomad TV, the Eau de Vie edition. This is episode 11 of How to Pick a Wine. Today, we're shopping for big, bold, beautiful Merlot. Let's go. Okay, any discussion about Merlot probably needs to talk about the French paradox. And maybe you've heard about it, maybe you haven't, but let's talk about it for a second. The French paradox was a term coined in 1991, and it talks about the idea that when the French eat so many more saturated fats like butter and cheese and pork compared to Americans, why is it that they have a lower rate of cardiac disease and cardiac deaths? So there was a study done by I believe he was a French scientist, and he said, look, I think it's because the French are drinking much more red wine. And so there you go. Red wine, lower cardiac disease, allows you to eat more fats. That was the premise. The 60 Minutes TV show picked up on that, and they essentially said, yeah, red wine, that's it. That's what it's doing. You can eat more fat and you'll be healthier if you drink more red wine. And so Merlot sales went through the roof. And that was in the early 90s. Well, in 2004, the movie Sideways came out, and one of the key characters there kept railing against Merlot, saying, I don't want to drink any more Merlot. He used more colorful language than that, but I don't want to drink any more frackin' Merlot. There you go. If you're a Battlestar Galactica fan, you'll get that. Anyhow, that sent Merlot sales down and Pinot Noir sales up. The inside joke there at Sideways is that the bottle of wine that he loves the most is a very, very fine bottle of Merlot named Cheval Blanc. So anyway, there's the French paradox. And it centers around Merlot and two cultural things, both of which are not really true. I don't think if you drink red wine, you're going to get healthier and you can eat more fats. I think the French are healthier because they take 2-hour lunches, which includes a glass of wine and a glass of espresso to get you back going again. And they have a better work-life balance. I think that's probably what makes them healthier. After all, they do have some of the finest butter and cheese in the world, and God knows I do love French butter. Anyway, that's the French paradox. We are going to try and go find a Merlot from Bordeaux. These are right bank examples, and they will be blended usually with Cabernet Franc. We're also going to look for a Merlot from Washington State. You probably have heard of Horse Heaven Hills, maybe Columbia River Valley, the area around the town of Walla Walla. It's producing excellent Merlots right now, but they can be difficult to find. You never know what you're going to find at Costco. There might be a good Merlot there. Okay, so that's your little drive time with Merlot, and I'll see you when I get to the store. I just want to say one more thing about Merlot. Because I mentioned the movie Sideways, and he had this really fine wine, the Cheval Blanc, the intention of all of these wine videos, my wine topics, the courses, everything I'm doing here, everything I've ever learned about wine, I want to make wine accessible. It should not be, it is, but it should not be considered just solely a luxury item. It's an everyday thing for everyday ordinary people. It doesn't need to be confusing. It doesn't need to be intimidating, and it shouldn't be filled with snobbery. Yeah, I know, I put a tie on, but I do that for you because I want to look nice for you so the presentation comes out well. But wine, I can't stand wine snobs. Are there fine wines? Do they cost a lot? Yes. But you don't have to drink that stuff. You don't have to aspire to purchase those things. You can find nice wines at affordable prices. That's what this How to Pick a Wine series really is about. Giving you the skills and the techniques to pick good quality, affordable wine so that you can enjoy it, because wine is fun to have with a meal and it's great to share with friends. Okay, let's go see what they've got. Okay, so here's the Duckhorn Vineyard Merlot, $42 from Napa. That's going to be pretty nice. Duckhorn's a quite well-known brand. Sliding down the price scale, you've got the Rutherford Hill Napa for $18.99. That's also Merlot. These are California-style Merlots, big, jammy, fruity wines. Then the Chateau Ste. Michelle from Indian Wells, $12.99. And Indian Wells is the region. You compare that over here to the Alki Merlot from Washington for $14.99. Just says Washington State, meaning they could source the grapes from anywhere in Washington. Okay, let's keep hunting for Merlots here. So here's Chateau Aubiers from Bordeaux. It's a red blend, but we know our geography, and it says the Blaye, Cote de Bordeaux, and wines from Blaye are Merlot based. This is 2016. It's getting kind of old, but it's $6.99. That might be actually a really good deal. Now here's something you're going to see also. $15.69. This is Eruption, and it says here on the label red blend. That means it's probably a blend of Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot, and unless it says so on the back of the label, which it doesn't, nothing in here has more than 75%. So they're all, the percentages of the grapes are all less than 75%. Again, here's another one, red blend, $29. Sometimes they're known also as clarets. All right, so we're going to choose this. We're going to give this little Cote de Blaye $6.99 a chance. Now I have to decide between the $12.99 Indian Wells, and the Indian Wells frankly is making me think I want it, versus the $14.99 Alki, and it's more generic, so that's not so good. So I turn it over and I'm looking down here. Look at the alcohol, 14.5%, and over here 14.5%. Both big, jammy wines. Now I've had the Chateau Ste. Michelle before, so I think I'm going to go with this newcomer just for fun. $14.99. Let's see how this is. This will be our New World Washington Merlot. Okay, here are the two big, bold, beautiful Merlots that I came home with. The Alki from Washington State. This is a little bit of a gamble. It's generic in its regional specificity. The Chateau Ste. Michelle from Indian Wells was more specific. This was more expensive, but the label was pretty cool. It's got the whole state on here, and you can feel all the mountains and rivers. 14.5% alcohol. This could be a real fruit bomb. If they got the balance wrong, it's not going to be fun. Then we've got the Chateau Aubiers. I'm going to guess that's how you say it. This is the Cote de Blaye. This is a inexpensive region of Bordeaux. This is more Merlot-based blends. I don't know exactly what the blend is here. The French never tell you exactly how they make it. 2016, 91 points from Wine Enthusiast in 2019. That's pre-pandemic. There was, it's almost like a different world. Anyhow, $6.99, also 14.5%, and organic. Wow, that's got a lot of things on the label that say it's great. Well, we'll find out next week. Wet Forest Floor, Velvet. Those are your two things you get from Merlot. Let's see if they're there. If you picked up these wines, let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this little shopping episode. I'll see you next week for when we score these. If you're new here or you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. And until then, I say a tout to l'air and cheers.